Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, as explained by Paramahansa Yogananda and edited by Swami Kriyananda. We do this every weekday, my husband and I alternating. And today we're on quatrain 46. So first I'm going to play Swami Kriyananda singing the quatrain, and then offering Yogananda's paraphrase.
Stanza 46. For in and out, above, about, below, 'tis nothing but a magic shadow show, played in a box whose candle is the sun, round which we phantom figures come and go. Paraphrase. The images on a movie screen seem real. The people, the homes they live in, the distant mountains, the stars above. Yet they are nothing but plays of light and shadow cast onto the screen by a movie projector. The same is true of so-called real life. Our bodies, so loved and cosseted by us, are nothing but phantom images. Earth, sun, stars, and galaxies, all are projected onto the vast screen of space from a light booth in eternity. Birth and death are no more real than their movie counterparts. As each one of us dies, other phantom figures will appear to take up the light and shadow story where we left it. There is no substance at all to the manifested universe, except inasmuch as shadow shows and movies are real, as appearances merely. The vast drama of time, space, and active life is a colossal fiction.
So in this quatrain, Omar is talking about the subject that Paramahansa Yogananda used to talk about quite a bit, and Eastern philosophy does a lot, which is that life is a dream, that the life that we see as reality is not reality. In fact, in modern times, we've learned to understand that material things are not as they appear at all, but they are energy. And the spiritual teachings of the East go on further to say that behind that energy is consciousness. And so things are not as they appear. And yet the drama of life, just like the drama in an exciting sort of edge of the seat movie or page turning book, are so gripping that it's difficult for us not to get caught up in that reality, which is but a dream. And just like with our own dreams, when we wake up in the morning, most of us forget even what we had dreamt about just a moment before. It simply vanishes. So it is that the scriptures of the East describe that life, when we live it and we've completed it and we're taken out of it through death, is but a dream. We don't even remember. In fact, that's one of the important things about not having that memory in reincarnation. Yogananda explains that we've been everything and we've done everything, both good and bad, and we'd be horrified if we knew what some of our prior lives had been, and it would hold us back. And so what we want to do is to live in this moment forward, understanding that life is a dream, understanding that we will not get happiness from any material realities, seeming realities outside of ourselves, that our happiness resides within, and then to do the hard work of taking the veils off our soul consciously by doing those things that will help us transcend our egos, meaning putting ego in the back seat. Ego's still there, but not in the driving seat, in the back seat where it belongs. That's a whole other subject that could take a very long time to cover. But the point is that through the transcendence of the ego, we begin to see more and more life around us and within us for what it really is. And I used to like to share the image. Yogananda made Swami Kriyananda, his direct disciple, work very, very hard, and he had a strict discipline for him on how he should spend his day with his service and his spiritual practices. And it was all had to happen very quickly. He kept urging him to act quickly and decisively and move, and I often wondered, why is that? Well, it takes active focus to, I like the image of a rocket. When it wants to take off into outer space, it has to have a thrust, it has to have energy behind it, and it has to break through the various layers of whatever that is out there. I'm not a very good scientist, but you know what I mean. It has to break through, and then once it breaks through, it just sort of glides in space, doesn't it? And that is what happens with our soul. It takes tremendous focus and energy, and that focus of concentration to still the mind and still the heart. Be still and know that I am God. And so it takes focus. It's like swinging a pendulum. To get it to stop, it takes more energy and strength to try to still it. And any of us who have tried meditation know that that's one of the hardest things that we do, to try to still the mind and still the heart and eventually still the breath, to go into breathlessness. Be still and know. And recognizing the motion picture of life so that we can have the right perspective as we move forward into the battle for our spirit, for our soul nature. So joy to you, and we'll see you again with Yogananda's explanations of the Rubaiyat.